So Bismillahirrahmanirrahim. This is me Assam with the Salah and I'm a student at the High School Global campus. And today I'm doing another interesting conversation with Maya AI. And today's topic is the power of first impression. So um, every day we meet new people, enter new environments, and communicate with others for the first time. With just a moments, people can form an opinion about us based on our appearance, body language, communication, confidence, and behavior. So first let's make call with Maya.
Hey there.
Hello Maya, how are you today?
I'm doing great. How about you?
So today I'm having another interesting conversation with you, and today's topic is the power of first impression. So every day we met new people, enter new environments, and communicate with others for the first time. Within just a few moments, people can form an opinion about us based on our appearance, body language, communication, confidence, and behavior. But our first impression always accurate? Can we change someone's opinions after making a poor first impression? And how can we make a positive first impression without pretending to be someone we are not? So today I want to explore how first impression works and how we can use this knowledge to improve our communication and social skills. So Maya, let's begin a conversation about the power of first impression.
First impressions are such a trip. It's wild how quickly our brains decide who someone is before they've even finished saying hello. I'm curious, what brought this to mind today?
I always give people in detailed answers.
True, but do you actually find it helpful?
So Maya,
I
my
mean, you've
first
mentioned that
question is, what does our first impression mean to you?
to me, a first impression is basically a mental shortcut. It's that instant snapshot our brains take to decide if someone is trustworthy, capable, or just plain interesting. It's not always accurate, but it's the bridge we use to get to the real version of a person. The thing is, it's rarely about one single thing, but a mix of how someone speaks, their energy, and even the way they hold themselves.
That's right, Maya. So my next question is, how quickly do people usually form an impression of someone?
Lightning fast. It's actually pretty wild, but research suggests the brain starts making calls in a fraction of a second. We're talking about a hundredth of a second for things like trustworthiness or competence. It's basically a survival instinct from when we had to decide instantly if a stranger was a friend or a threat. By the time you've even said your first sentence, the other person has likely already built a rough draft of who they think you are. Yeah? Go ahead.
That's right, Maya. So my next question is, what factors influence the first impression we create?
It's a whole mix of things. The obvious stuff like clothes or how you stand definitely plays a part, but it's the smaller things that really stick, like the warmth in your voice if you're making eye contact and whether you actually seem present. Even the way you say hello can set the tone for the entire interaction.
That's right, Maya. So my next question is, how important is language when meeting someone for the first time?
Massive. It's basically a second conversation happening in the background while you're actually talking. Think about it. You could be saying all the right things, But if your arms are crossed and you're leaning away, you're sending a completely different message. The opposite is also true. You could be totally nervous, but a genuine smile and an open posture can make you seem confident and welcoming. It's like a shortcut to trust.
That's right, Maya. So I can say you that always give deeper and detailed answers.
Got it. So, what's the next question on your list?
How important is a person's tone of voice?
It's the hidden narrator of the conversation. You could be saying something kind, but if your tone is flat or sharp, people only hear the sharpness. It's where the real emotion lives, and often it's what people trust more than the actual words being said.
That's right, Maya. So my next question is, can nervousness negatively affect our first impression?
It absolutely can, but it's rarely as obvious to others as it feels to you. Most people just read it as a bit of social friction or modesty. The danger is when that nervousness makes you close off physically, like avoiding eye contact or speaking too quickly, which can sometimes be misread as being disinterested or even standoffish. But honestly, a little bit of vulnerability can actually be a secret weapon. It makes you seem human and relatable, which is often more endearing than someone who seems perfectly polished and rehearsed.
That's right, Maya. So my next question is, our first impression always accurate?
Hardly ever. Think of it as a rough draft that our brains scribble down in a few seconds. We're seeing a snapshot, not the whole movie. That's why the most interesting people are usually the ones who completely subvert that first impression. When someone is the exact opposite of what you expected, that contrast is what actually makes them memorable.
Right, Maya. So my next question is, if our first impression is not right to the person, what we do next in next meeting?
You totally can. That's the beauty of a second first impression. The first one is just a hypothesis, and the second one is the proof that you're actually something else entirely. It's a real opportunity to rewrite the narrative. But it usually takes more than just one meeting to shift someone's perspective. What are you thinking for that second meeting?
So Maya, my last question is, what is the most important advice you would give someone to create a positive and genuine first impression?
Stop trying to create the impression. I know that sounds backward, but the more you focus on the performance, the less genuine you actually seem. The secret is to stop worrying about how you're being perceived and start being genuinely curious about the other person. When you're focused on making them feel seen and heard, you naturally project warmth, confidence, and presence. People might forget exactly what you said, but they'll always remember how you made them feel.
So thank you, Maya, for answering all of my questions. And today
I'm all
I
ears.
learned that the first impression can be powerful, but they do not tell us everything about a person. Our body language, communication, confidence, listening skills, and behavior can influence how others the, perceive us, but being genuine is just as important. A first impression can open a door, but our action can character our word keep the door open. The biggest lesson I will take from today's conversation is Make a positive first impression, but let your actions show who you truly are. Thank you, Maya, for helping me explore the power of first impression. And thank you, everyone, for listening. Keep learning, communicate confidently, treat people with respect, and always be yourself. See you into the next conversation. Allah Hafiz. Have a wonderful day.
I love that last part.